Welcome to Wager Talk TV. I am Kelly Stewart, joined today by Chris Thurston at CT Bets on the app formerly known at CT Bet 16, on the app formerly known as Twitter. We're going to break down the Super Bowl today. Chris, we still have quite a few days before the Super Bowl. We're recording this on Friday, February 2nd, as I check my calendar. I got the Wager Talk odds screen open. San Fran is a 2-point favorite, plus 110, plus 120, plus 112 over at Circa for the money line, if you like the dog to win that one outright. And as far as the total goes, we haven't seen a ton of movement. And I think that's very interesting here, CT. 47.5 pretty much across the board. Juiced at a couple different shops. And you and I are in already disagreement. You like the Chiefs. I like the Niners. But I don't even know if I'm going to get to the window here with this Niners team. I like a lot of props. And I know you like a few as well.
Yeah, we're going to get some props. Cal, and these 2 weeks seem like they're the longest with no football this weekend. But yeah, this game, right? Last year, the Chiefs played the Eagles, right? I absolutely love the Chiefs. Love them. I had a massive bet on the Chiefs. This year's Super Bowl is a little different for me. I like the Chiefs, Cal. I'm going to bet the Chiefs. I haven't yet, but I don't nearly like them or love them as much as I liked them last year. I think this is going to be a lot tougher matchup for them. And right, we're going to talk about this. You look at this matchup on paper, right? And one would say with the amount of talent that the Niners have, you would say, how can the Chiefs win this game with all the weapons that Purdy has, right? They're endless. McCaffrey, Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, Juzak now out of nowhere, making circus catches. So I'm not nearly as confident as I was last year, but I'm going to be getting to the window here with KC.
Kind of one of those things. If you like the Niners, I think you're a little late to lay the 2. Maybe try to find a cheap money line. You can head over to wagertalk.com/odds. Pretty much 130 Circa Superbook. DraftKings does have a 120. So my opinion is if you like the Niners, that's the place to go as opposed to laying the 2. Chris, you mentioned some of the weapons for the Niners, and the Chiefs have a few weapons themselves, most notably Patrick Mahomes. Of course, Travis Kelce's name is going to be dropped a lot, and Isaiah Pacheco. As far as that goes, the defense deserves a lot of credit. Steve Spagnuolo has really done a number with this team. They've held some really great offenses, including the Ravens, to just 13.7 points per game. And those would be the top 3 offenses in the league this year. So I want to say, hey, this is the better defense plus the points, because the Niners defense has just been abysmal in the playoffs. Granted, they had a first round bye. They kind of didn't seem to care for 3 quarters versus the Packers. We're going to see. I think San Francisco is going to have to do what Baltimore didn't, and that is establish the running game. I have no idea why the Ravens abandoned the run, and I frankly don't want to relive that as somebody who had the Ravens to win the Super Bowl as a futures bet. So let's talk about your keys to why you like the Chiefs, and maybe if you have a few prop bets that correlate with those.
Yeah, right. So we talked about how how many weapons Purdy has on offense, and they're dangerous, right? And then you kind of look at the Chiefs offense, right? And it's Kelce, Pacheco, and the outstanding wideout out of SMU, Rashee Rice, and that's a little bit of a talent difference on the offensive side of the ball. One would argue, and I get it. I know I'm probably going to sound completely square here, and I don't care, but Kel, do you think this game is going to be a blowout one way or the other?
I would have to agree. I don't necessarily see it being a blowout. I will say this. The last time I bet against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, I laid, I think it was 2.5 with the Buccaneers. And even that game really surprised me. The Chiefs are not the type of team to get blown out, obviously, because they do have such a quick, prolific offense, right? We spoke about the differences. I think I was on the Bills. You were on the Chiefs. And even had Bass made that field goal, would there been enough time for Patrick Mahomes to go down in there and either set his team up for a game-winning touchdown and or a game-winning field goal? Absolutely. That was not up for debate. So yeah, I would have to agree with you. I don't see this being a blowout unless, well, of course, again, the Niners established the run with Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy. I do like his over 12 and a half rushing yards next Sunday. That will be a prop bet of mine. So no, I would agree with you. Is that why you kind of said to me before we started the show that you like the over?
Well, yeah, so I'll talk about the over first. So I agree with you. The Niners defense has pretty much been abysmal for a month right now. All right, let's go back to Christmas Day when the Ravens absolutely shredded them. They haven't been the same from what we've seen all year. It's kind of just gone away. And this is coming from this. I was on the Niners both games this playoffs, and they really shoved it in my face. And I think the key for the Niners is going to be to run the ball, like you said. Establish the run, because the Chiefs, as great as their defense has been and is, their only flaw is they really aren't that great against the run. But Coach Fatso, 2 weeks to prepare here, been there numerous times. He might be able to bottle that up. Then you look at the Niners. Niners offense is going to score points, right? They're going to put up points, whether it's through the air or, with the run game. The Chiefs, Mahomes, 15. I mean, he has a couple of weapons here. If his weapons aren't doing it for him, he's going to find a way to do it himself. I see this thing going up and over 47.5. I know that's probably a square side here, but I could just see this flying over. And our good friend Joe Ranieri, he said he likes the over in the first half. That's 23.5 points. That gets up and over there. I mean, I could see this game going over as well. So I'm on the over for a side. I'm on the over for the total. As for the side, right, I think it's going to be a close game. And I think it's going to probably come down to the last quarter here. And I'm sorry, I would just rather have my money on Mahomes pulling the trigger than Purdy for the final quarter to get the cash. Even though the Niners are more than talented and very capable of winning this game, I think there's a pretty big edge and experience for KC in this game on the field and coaching-wise. And I think that's going to come in the factor here. I do have the concern of the running game for the Niners, and they could probably shred the KC a little bit. They're able to establish that. But, Purdy, yeah, he's been tough this postseason, and he's battled through. He's found a way. But, I mean, let's not forget a couple of catches that the Lions missed, a couple of brain-dead decisions by Dan Campbell, instead of how about kicking that field goal to go up three scores? I don't know. He made some decisions here, and they dropped a lot of easy balls. We wouldn't even be sitting here having this conversation on the Niners and KC. If you're talking about KC and the Lions, that's neither here or there. I think KC is just going to be able to pressure Purdy, make him uncomfortable, and I'm going to take the best player in the world and arguably probably the best coach in the league currently under the lights in the big stage, and I'll be able to sleep at night if they lose. I'll be able to rest my head at ease.
All right, a couple of reminders. If you're betting the coin flip in this, just bet one of your friends. CT, do you like heads or tails?
Tails, always tails for me.
Yeah, perfect. See? And I always love heads. So see, do not lay juice betting the coin flip. Also, check out some of these prop bets. Make sure you guys are shopping around, but definitely check out our good friends over at the Superbook. They put out a literal phone book, 42 pages of prop bets I put on my Instagram last night. Thank you to CT. I hope he has a very profitable Super Bowl weekend. CT, anything else before I let you go?
Yeah, I got a couple quick props, okay? I'm not a prop guy, but I have a few that I like and I bet in the Super Bowl. First one is longest punt return. I think you're going to like this, Cal. Longest punt return under 17.5 yards, minus 110. Top two 10 defensive units, return units here. Neither team explosive in the return game, despite kind of having a ton of attempts. Both teams, they average under 10 yards per return. So we'll go under 17.5 yards for longest punt return. I always bet this one, the opening kickoff touchback. No, it's plus 300 right now. I just think it's mispriced. I think it should be probably dollar lower. It should be plus 200. And, this is one I bet every year. It's 26-4, the last 30 Super Bowls. So we'll be on that one. And then Jake Moody to miss a field goal, plus 250. Now, he was great in the regular season, 84% in the regular season. Postseason, he is 3 for 6. Then if you want to get a little more aggressive here, this might be a good one to take here. You could also take missed field goal or extra point for both teams if you want at plus 105. So those are 4 that I played so far, Cal.
Ooh, the missed field goal props are always interesting because, well, we know kicking is for losers. Even though you don't have that sweatshirt on today, you have a different, looks like Kelly and Murray sweatshirt on. It's hard for me to kind of tell. Oh yeah, I knew it. I've seen that sweatshirt tons of times. Again, thank you guys for hanging out with us on this Super Bowl special with me and CT at CTBet16 on X. Make sure you guys are giving them a follow, and make sure you guys check out all of our other Super Bowl content to get best bets, predictions, and sharp action for the Super Bowl here on Wager Talk TV.